Hello, I am Maeve McHugh and my colleague Anya Karan and I work in the Environmental Protection Agency's Producer Responsibility team. We would both like to welcome you to this video presentation, which is for the information of business-to-business producers of waste electrical and electronic equipment, or WEEE, who are due to submit plans and reports to the agency in January 2018. The purpose of producing this short video is to provide business-to-business WEEE producers with some reminders for the purpose of assisting with your reporting. We are reminding you of your obligation to report and of your statutory reporting deadline and frequency, which in the case of plans is different than it is in the case of reports. We're mindful of the fact that this is work that you only do once per year, so we will be providing you with some practical information on your login, as well as working through a few of the errors that we see most commonly in your reports. We will also deal with the questions that you contact the team to ask at reporting time, and with that in mind, we would very much ask that you view the video in full before you consider making contact with questions. We thought it was worth reiterating at the start, what is a producer? You can look up the legal definition of a producer in the WEEE regulations, but the important message is that if you are a person who is placing an item of electrical or electronic equipment on the Irish market for the first time, in other words, you were the first person to place that item on the Irish market, then you are legally regarded as the producer of that item. You do not have to be a manufacturer in order to be a producer, though you could also be a manufacturer. You can also be a retailer or distributor and also be a producer. Plans versus reports. In your WEEE Waste Management Plan, you are required to forecast, or in other words, to provide your best estimate of the electrical and electronic equipment you will place on the market in Ireland over the next 3 years, and of the waste electrical and electronic equipment you will take back in that 3-year period. The WEEE Waste Management Plan is due once every 3 years. You'll see that the last slide of this presentation contains various links to locations on the EPA website, including a link to the page where you can find step-by-step guidance to assist you in making your online WEEE Waste Management Plan submission. On the other hand, for your WEEE Waste Management Report, the requirement is to provide actual figures on the take-back and treatment of WEEE for the preceding year. The WEEE Waste Management Report is due annually, and the last slide in this presentation includes a link to a page where you can find detailed guidance on making this online submission, should you need it. The deadline for submission of all WEEE Waste Management reports and for those WEEE Waste Management Plans that fall due in 2018 is the 31st of January. Your WEEE Waste Management Plans and reports will be submitted on Eden. This is via the website www.edenireland.ie. Remember that your Eden password expires after 3 months, so you may be required to update your password. If when you try to log in, the system tells you that the username or password is incorrect, the issue may be that the password has expired. Please do check this before contacting Eden Support or the Producer Responsibility team. Guidance on updating your password is available on the EPA website, and a link to that page containing the guidance is provided on the last slide. Now we'll look at some of the errors that we commonly see in reports and plans. We look first at just a few common errors in the WEEE Waste Management reports. In question 6 of the online report, we ask you about WEEE Takeback. You must think carefully about ticking yes or no in question 6, because the option that you choose to tick here will determine the questions available to you to answer under questions 7, 8, 9 and 10. So we look at some of the terms used in question 6. WEEE Takeback. It's important to record WEEE Takeback properly. Any electrical and electronic equipment returned to the producer should be reported in question 7, no matter what subsequently happens to the equipment. It could be reused, it could be stored on the premises, or it could be sent straight to a recovery facility. It still needs to be reported in question 7. WEEE Carryover. This is WEEE that remains at the producer's premises at the end of one reporting year and is carried over to the next, and so to avoid incorrect counting it needs to be reported and recorded appropriately. Question 8b. The important point to note about question 8b is that most of you are not carrying out at your sites the actual processing activities involved in the recovery of WEEE. If you answer yes to question 8b, you're saying that you're carrying out those kinds of activities, for example melting, shredding or incineration, at your premises, bearing in mind that those are activities which would require their own separate authorisations. For most of you, you're sending WEEE off-site for recovery, and in that case the answer to question 8b is no.
In the WEEE Waste Management Report, question 7 should approximately be equal to question 8 plus question 9. It is useful to determine these figures prior to completing the form on Eden. Question 7 is a record of WEEE taken back from e-users during the reporting year and any WEEE take back carried over from the previous reporting year. If you are also a battery producer, you should not report battery take back in the WEEE Waste Management Report. Question 8 and question 9 record how the WEEE take back reported in question 7 was managed during the reporting year. In question 8A1, producers may record the weight of WEEE reused as whole appliances and spare parts if applicable. In question 8A2, producers may record the weight of WEEE remaining at the producer premises at the end of the reporting year. As previously mentioned, select No in question 8B unless you're authorised to carry out recovery activities at your premises. Question 9 is a record of WEEE sent off-site to a recovery facility. To reiterate, question 7 should equal question 8 plus question 9, or WEEE take back should equal WEEE managed on site plus WEEE sent off-site to a recovery facility. If you're reporting WEEE sent off-site in question 9, you will be required to upload recycling certificates or certificates of destruction accounting for the weight of WEEE reported. Collection or weighbridge documentation should be retained for your own records, but such dockets are not sufficient to approve the report. If you have reported WEEE sent off-site to a recovery facility, you are required to confirm that your organisation has received written confirmation from your recovery operator stating that the WEEE recovery targets have been met. Producers must request this written confirmation annually from any recovery operators used. WEEE take back must only be sent to recovery facilities capable of WEEE treatment in accordance with WEEE layback standards. The WEEE Waste Management Plan follows a similar structure to the annual report. In the following slides, we will look at some of the questions asked in the WEEE Waste Management Plan. Rather than reporting on the previous year, as in the report, in the plan we look forward to the next 3 years and provide a forecast. In question 5, producers should provide their best estimate of E that will be placed on the market over the next 3 years by their organisation. In question 6, producers should give an average lifespan of this E. In the plan, question 7 should also equal question 8 plus question 9. The estimate of WEEE take back provided in question 7 is an estimate of WEEE take back arising from any business-to-business E your organisation has placed on the market in Ireland. In question 10, producers are required to declare that they have adequate resources available to finance the take back and environmentally sound management of WEEE. The usual method is producers financing and managing business-to-business WEEE take back as it arises. This is covered under Regulation 18. Under Regulation 19, producers may make alternative financing arrangements with the end users. These agreements must be in place prior to the sale of E. In this case, the producer is required to notify the end user of the treatment and recovery obligations that will transfer to users. Reporting obligations remain with the producer. If a producer opts to avail of Regulation 19 financing, they will be asked to demonstrate examples of such agreements and how they provide users with the required information in writing before the plan will be approved. The submission deadline for WEEE Waste Management plans and reports is the 31st of January each year. Non-compliances will be issued to producers who have not submitted plans and reports after this date. If after viewing this presentation you have additional queries, you can contact the Producer Responsibility Team at wee@epa.ie. Useful guidance documents can be found on the EPA website at the addresses shown below. Thank you for your attention to this presentation.